Hello sports fans, it is Friday, September the 27th, the year 2013, and as usual, a lot to get to in the sports world, so let's get it going right now. Let's start with the NFL game from last night where the San Francisco 49ers just plastered the St. Louis Rams in St. Louis 35-11. The Niners go up to 2-2, the Rams drop to 1-3. Very important win for San Francisco. This game was close early. San Francisco just demolished the Rams in the second half. Very nice job by the Niners. Needed the win. They got it. I thought Kaepernick played well. I thought Bolden played well. I thought Gore was very good on the ground. The defense was good. Very, very good, solid performance by San Francisco, and they needed it in the worst way. I'll tell you, I didn't like what I saw from the Rams. Now, I think the Rams are about a year away from putting things together. Next year, let's keep an eye on Bradford and Fisher, the coach. Very important season next year for the Rams. I don't expect them to do anything this year. They've had now 2 terrible losses in a row. Very important year next year for Bradford and Fisher. They have to surround Bradford with some more weapons. The Rams have no weapons on offense. No running game. I know they got a couple young guys as far as a young receiver. We'll see if they can develop. They need more weapons. And Sam Bradford, he's got to pick up his play. He's considered a franchise quarterback. He's got to start playing better. He was not good last night. San Francisco, much needed win. Very important win. I liked what I saw from San Francisco last night. They get the win. As far as the college football last night, Virginia Tech did beat Georgia Tech. That was a little bit of an upset. That game was played in Atlanta. That was Georgia Tech's first loss of the year. Virginia Tech goes up to 4-1. I'll tell you, I didn't think Virginia Tech had a win in them like this. I mean, Virginia Tech's been stumbling and bumbling this year. Barely beat Marshall, but Virginia Tech played a very, very nice defensive game last night. So good win for Frank Beamer and the Hokies. They go up to 4-1. They hand Georgia Tech their first loss. And Iowa State blasted Tulsa. These 2 programs are a little down this year, so not much going on there. As far as the baseball last night, Tampa Bay won again. They beat the Yankees. Cleveland won again, and Texas had a big walk-off win against the Angels. So everything stays the same again. Tampa with the first wild card spot. Cleveland with the second wild card spot. Texas a game behind. Of course, Boston, Oakland, and Detroit leading the American League divisions. As far as the National League, St. Louis and Atlanta and the Dodgers leading their divisions. St. Louis and Atlanta battling for best record in the National League. They are tied right now. Pittsburgh is 1 game up on Cincinnati for the wild card. Both of those teams are going to make the playoffs. As far as the games tonight, you have Tampa Bay at Toronto, Cleveland at Minnesota, and the Angels at Texas. All very important games. And in the National League, you have Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. That's going to decide who hosts the wild card game. Cubs at St. Louis, Philadelphia at Atlanta. We're going to see who gets best record in the National League. So very important games still to be played in baseball. I want to touch real quick on Mariano Rivera's last game at Yankee Stadium. I'll tell you, they did a great job last night with Mariano Rivera's last game. He comes in, he gets 4 outs. Then Girardi has the great idea of sending Pettit and Jeter to go get him. I mean, Mariano Rivera completely broke down on the mound, hugging his good friend Andy Pettit. Crowd gave Rivera a great ovation. Nice job by the Tampa Bay Rays at all. They were all giving him a nice ovation. Mariano Rivera, one of the all-time greats in all of sports. Hate to see him go. Wish he could play forever. He's one of those guys you wish would never leave, kind of like Jordan or Larry Bird or Mario Lemieux. You never want to see these guys leave. Unfortunately, everyone gets old. It's something you can't stop. I mean, Mariano Rivera did it the right way. Very, very classy guy. Never was in trouble at all. Just kind of like Derek Jeter. These guys are never in trouble. Never a hint of any performance-enhancing drugs. Everyone loves Rivera, and I'll tell you, all the teams around baseball did a great job honoring Rivera. The Boston Red Sox and the Fenway faithful did a tremendous job when Rivera was up there, giving him a great ovation. The Met fans were so good to Rivera, not only during the regular season, but for the All-Star game. Every game at every stadium I've seen this year, they have really honored Rivera in a first-class way. Very strange that Rivera closes out at Houston. Houston, was in the National League for so long. Very strange that the Yankees are playing their last 3 games in Houston. I'm sure Houston's going to give him a nice tribute as well. Very odd, though, that the Yankees are closing in Houston. Very odd, also, the Yankees are not going to make the playoffs for only like the second time in like 2 decades. But Everyone treated Rivera first class, and he deserved it. Mariano Rivera, one of the all-time greats. He will be missed. Also, Andy Pettitte, it's his last go around as well. Now, Andy Pettitte's retired a few times and come back, but I think this time he's really done. He also got a nice ovation last night, and the Tampa Bay Rays, they wouldn't take the field until Pettitte got the ovation, so the Rays did a really nice job. So Andy Pettitte will be missed as well. Also, one other guy I wanted to talk about leaving, Todd Helton is retiring from the Rockies. Now, Todd Helton has not been the same player the last couple of years that he's been, but Todd Helton was a great pro. So the Rockies honored him the other day. Todd Helton, another guy that did it the right way, first-class guy. And the Rockies really honored him the other day in a really first-class manner. Todd Helton will be missed as well. So I just wanted to touch on some of that. Also, I forgot to mention yesterday, in the boat racing, the USA had a tremendous come-from-behind win in the America's Cup to beat New Zealand. This was one of the all-time great comebacks ever. The USA was dead and buried in this, and they came storming back, one of the greatest comebacks in America's Cup history. So the USA takes the America's Cup with a great come-from-behind win against New Zealand. I did want to mention that yesterday. I failed to do so. I apologize for that. As far as what to watch tonight and over the weekend, listen, tonight's a baseball night. You only got 3 days left in the baseball season, and then you got the playoffs next week. There are a couple small college football games tonight. I think BYU is home, but nothing great tonight. The big marquee matchups over the weekend. First in college football tomorrow on Saturday. You got 4 tremendous games tomorrow. I mean, last week was awful. This week is very good. You have Oklahoma and their undefeated record going to Notre Dame. Notre Dame's been beaten once this year. Notre Dame, an underdog at home. You never see that. That is a tremendous game. Look for the ghosts to start perking up around Notre Dame Stadium. Notre Dame, underdog at home. That doesn't happen often. Oklahoma, Notre Dame, a tremendous matchup. Wisconsin at Ohio State, a very, very good matchup. Ohio State undefeated last year, undefeated this year. They get their quarterback back as well. Wisconsin has one loss. They had the tough loss to Arizona State, a game they should have won. They got robbed by the refs. Also a nice game. Great SEC game tomorrow. LSU at Georgia. Tremendous game between the Hedges and Athens. Definitely check that out. LSU undefeated and Georgia has one loss. And of course you have Ole Miss, who is the surprising undefeated team, going to #1 Alabama tomorrow. Alabama, of course, the cream of the crop in college football the last few years. Don't know if Ole Miss can beat them, but Ole Miss may hang around in this game. Ole Miss very improved, a lot of good freshmen as well. Also in the NFL, you got 3 big games in the NFL this weekend. The Monday night game is tremendous. Miami at New Orleans on Monday Night Football. The Sunday night game is really good. New England at Atlanta. And on Sunday afternoon, Chicago at Detroit for first place. Very, very underrated game. Very good game. So you have a nice slate of games this weekend. Should be a very, very good weekend as far as sports goes. Good college football. Good NFL football. And of course, you got the last weekend of baseball. You guys, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. Enjoy the games over the weekend. You have a lot of good ones. I mean, to me, the college football is tremendous this weekend, so enjoy all of it. I will be back with you Monday, and we will recap all of it. I will talk to you guys Monday. Take care.